The way I see it, there's two types of people in the world. There's one that are in tune with abundance, that seem to have the access to all the wealth. And then there's the other type, which is no matter how hard they work or how hard they try, they can never seem to be good with money or invited into their lives. Why is there this stark difference?
So we have those who never have it, those who have it but pay a price, and a small group of those who have it, enjoy it, and do good things with it. I mean, we should all aim to be in group 3.
Okay. How do you get there?
Well, your relationship with money is often fixed by the time you're 7 years old, which is quite extraordinary. Imagine growing up with a parent who says, I can't find the money. You go, can I have a toy? I can't find the money. Can we go out for lunch? I can't find the money. And that's very confusing to a child because no one says, hey, I've got to pay my bills. I better go for a walk and find the money. So what we hear our parents saying, I want, never get, money doesn't grow on trees, we can't find the money. Children form a belief very quickly, we don't have money. People like us don't have money. And then we also hear words like rich bitch, fat cat, filthy rich. So if you want wealth, but you use that language, look at that fat cat, look at that rich bitch. Those people are filthy rich, dirty money. How can you ever attract wealth if you have these disparaging beliefs about it? So to make it, you go right back and find your money beliefs. Like the common one is, if I have more, you have less. If I have money, people say when you have money, you never know who your friends are. So if you have these limiting money beliefs, these what I call money blocks, you can actually sabotage your ability to make wealth. And we know that's true because 70% of lottery winners are bankrupt in 3 years.
So true.
And 70% of people who inherit wealth have lost it all also in 3 years, which is amazing. So what is going on there? Why do lottery winners and people who inherit money lose it? Because they have a belief, I didn't earn this.
I don't deserve it.
I don't deserve it. And actually having inherited wealth does 3 things. There's tremendous guilt. My grandfather worked really hard and left this to me, but I don't deserve it. So there's guilt, there's shame, and then isolation. So it's our beliefs about money. What do we believe?
So what are these money blocks or money beliefs? What do you think are the most common ones that you've kind of seen?
The biggest by far are, I'm not worth it, I don't deserve it, and when I have money, I'll never know who my friends are. Money makes you very lonely. We've all seen the movie of Paul Getty, Alone with His Paintings.
I've noticed this with movies that the villain, the really rich person is always the villain.
Of course.
And we've seen this in Bollywood, right?
Of course.
In so many Bollywood movies. The one with the biggest house in the mansion is the cruelest man alive.
Well, we hear that the Bible says that the pursuit of money is the root of all evil. And actually, it doesn't say that. It says this, the pursuit of money at the expense of everything else is the root of all evil. But we hear all these things in spiritual people shouldn't have money. If you're spiritual, you shouldn't have money. A very pious, good person is poor. And when we hear these things, they sink in. A child doesn't have the rational to go, is that true? They just believe it. I want, never gets. If I have more, you'll have less. Don't be greedy. Don't ask. And so these things we hear on a regular basis as a child become an imprint. So we have these very emotional scenes as children that we forget about. But the subconscious mind never forgets. It's always switched on. It's always on record. And it picks up a belief. And the belief often is, if I have more than you, you won't like me. If I have more, you'll take it off me. If I have more, I'll be lonely. If I have more, you'll envy me. And so we've got to be very careful with our children, what we show them about wealth. Here's something parents do a lot. Your kid says, Mommy, I want a Barbie. And they go, well, you can't just have a Barbie. You've got to earn the Barbie. So you're going to take out the trash and clean the guinea pig's cage and maybe empty the dishwasher. But what you're saying to your child is menial chores. And so they form a belief, I've got to do horrible things to make money. And of course, it's very well intentioned. What else can you do with your kid? But if your kid is arty, you should say, I want you to design all the Christmas cards or wrap the gifts. And then say, wow, look at how creative you are. You earn money for that. Even if that's playing cards with grandfather.
Okay.
Or grooming the dog, but try not to give them money for washing up.
I'm going to take you back to when we were talking about the money blocks, right? So say I have a money block that I feel like if I spend too much, I'll have no money left.
Mm-hmm.
How can you get rid of a money block like that?
Well, you always have to ask yourself a question. No baby is born with a money block. Babies aren't born saying, I don't really deserve this little do your t-shirt. I shouldn't throw up on it. I don't deserve all these toys. Babies, you see, when you're in the womb, it's like being in the fourth season. It's always 75 degrees. You have 24-hour room service. Someone's always there. So a baby is born with an interesting belief. Here I am, and all my needs will be met. They don't mind waking up at 5 a.m., throwing up on their clothes, spitting out the food.
Someone will take care of it.
Yeah. Well, the belief is all my needs are going to be met. When you go back and find out where it came from, you start with the beginning. I was not born with this. I learned it. If I learn it, I can unlearn it.
Okay.